So again, I think that coRe won the first one, but I'm not 100% sure about the score. But we'll find out whether or not there's going to be a third game. So for now, Valdemar with the Byzantines in yellow on the south side of the map against coRe in red playing the Rus. Starting with a hunting cabin, there's the second one, so double hunting cabin opener, which I personally like quite a lot. And then Byzantines, let's take a look at their map. Okay, so that is unfortunate. Okay, so I mean, I don't want to tell Valdemar how he should play this game, but at the same time, is that actually gonna work? So, I mean, you wanna have the cistern, the first one, cover your sheep and the gold. And so, I'm not actually sure. I mean, it kind of looks like it works, so I guess if... We'll figure it out. So apparently it works. I would have guessed that it's not in like the resource here, so it doesn't like actually like they're standing outside. And so maybe it'll actually not work. I'll probably take a look later and see if it actually works, because this one is not like, I call it inspired for now, so it's not increased gather rate, and yeah, kind of looks like it. Yeah, okay. So this is not in range. So you would love to have like the villagers in the range of the cistern. Can I just yeah. I mean, it's nice that you have the berries and you're also getting the stone, but I think the important thing would be the. So let's see. We'll see how the timings and everything will be. But it looks like he should have placed it a little bit different. But yeah, Rus to so the hunting cabins opening means they don't have to go on gold in any way whatsoever. He will just look for some sheep to deliver. Everything's on food. So he'll have a good timing. Probably gonna go with the Golden Gate, I would suppose. And there's the Grand Winery. So yeah, 4 spaces here between the TC and the Grand Winery. So he'll have 2 rows of olive groves here, covering all the berries with it, as well as with most of the berries. But again, yeah, like, so his villagers are not actually being improved here by the cistern, so that's really not too good. But yeah, it is what it is. In terms of scouting, so yeah, Valdemar went all the way around, found the gold and the berries, which both are not really that interesting. Also the stone for Rus, so he could try to attack here, but if coRe is going for the pro scout, which he will most definitely do, then you can't really punish the food underneath the town center anyway, and so yeah, could be difficult for him to find a good angle of attack here. On the other hand, coRe already scouted most of the base, most of the map due to having 3 scouts. And yeah, Golden Gate, Grand Winery, both pretty standard landmarks. Already moving over the villages here, so he will definitely look for as much oil as quickly as possible. And then second cistern is gonna be built here, so just on the other side of his base. So that will, let's switch the influence here. Okay, so this one here is covering most of that side of the Grand Winery, this one is covering most part of this one. So there will be like a little bit here that is not gonna be covered, but it doesn't matter, you just place your olive groves here and then here first, and at some point you place it there. So good cistern placement, very nicely done. He could also have gone for maybe place it like here, or like he will probably place like a third one over here, so he will cover those resources here as well as with the wood. But I mean, that's only for later. For now, this is just perfect, getting both of the wood lines, or at least, yeah, beginning of the wood lines. Scouts very aggressively actually torching down a mining camp here, and so Valdemar needs to react to that with a Limitani. And so very annoying here actually with the scouts. I really like that idea from coRe. So yeah, wow, now going onto the Grand Winery here, so really being a nuisance here, interestingly. Very interesting. Also dropped an archery range, so here's looking for some archers to. Well, I mean, so the thing is with Byzantines, you can do a lot of different things. He's going immediately with the Silk Road contract. So not the Western, not the Eastern, the Silk Road, which means javelin thrower. Good evening as well, Janner. Good to have you here. So javelin throws being his choice for now, which actually is a great choice against the archers that are gonna come. So javelin throwers Limitani. So since he didn't go with the Kashik, there is not gonna be as many options for early aggression as you would have with the Kashik. I really like that he's pushing in the deer that way. So really trying to push the deer underneath the tower as close as possible here, and then maybe he'll drop a mill at some point. And so now we have a couple archers here, which, yeah, I'm not gonna do a whole lot against the tower. At least it gave coRe the intel that with which contract Valdemar chose. So that is gonna be at least something. Yeah, which means then you of course go into the early nights, because that pretty much counters the javelin throws. No border settlements yet, but I mean, you don't really need to get to that immediately. So Valdemar looking on track for his castle age, has enough on gold for now. So yeah, he's moving on to the mill here. So trying to apply a little bit of pressure here while he's macroing up to the castle age. On the other hand, coRe also is on par with that and is able to hit castle age pretty soon. Alright, yeah, okay. I think it would have been better if you placed it here, maybe, in terms of how many trees it would cover, especially because there's already a wood hunting cabin here. But then again, on Basin you don't really have a whole lot of options for the high trade house. You could go for the Abbey of Trinity, but yeah, in general, the high trade house with the passive gold income and the gear generation, especially with the change, the bounty change that has been for a couple seasons now, better landmark, I would say. So even if the placement is not like the most efficient one, it's still an amazing landmark either way. Golden Horn Tower. Maybe I should actually look into Golden Horn Tower. I don't like that landmark that much. I do prefer the system of the first hill, but maybe I should look into Golden Horn Tower because apparently everybody builds that. So coRe again switching into horse archers. And so horse archer knight comp, or maybe knight, he stopped production actually. And now the monastery, he only went for one monastery. Most games we saw actually two monasteries being dropped immediately. I mean, he doesn't have the wood right now, so maybe he'll go for another one later on. But for now, one monastery. Do we have? Okay, there's the monk coming out from the Grand Winery. So Valdemar looking for some relics himself. We'll place it in the Grand Winery, so that's gonna be some nice oil production. Also starting with the second one as well. Finally something that I also like to do that a pro player does. So I also like to start with two monks immediately, just to get more relics. But yeah, pretty static army. So now, for now, just making sure that this sacred site, that relic definitely is going to him, and then he is grabbing the second one here. I think he actually could try and go sneakily for some more exposed ones, but then again you're facing Rus, which have the warrior monk, and that's just a lot faster, and so you will lose every relic race, except unless if you're like 5 minutes earlier than they are in the castle age, then you might actually get them. But other than that, it makes more sense to go for the safe ones first in this situation. Since it was so close with the castle age timing. Warrior monk making it over here, but so is Valdemar's army. So he should be able to grab that one, and then he has this one. So he will have 3, and coRe will get 2. So yeah, so he sees that and is able to just let it happen. So this will most likely. Well, I mean, what I'm saying that we do have quite a lot of horse archers here. So Valdemar needs to be very careful here. He doesn't see a whole lot, so he just knows that they've been killed. So he needs to be careful. There's a lot of stealth force here. There's one. Okay, now he sees all the units here, and Limitani not in shield wall right now. Oof, that was an immediate snipe. Oh my goodness, that was beautifully done by coRe. Immediately sniping the monk, grabbing the relic, going for a Wallalo yourself. That was beautiful. So very nicely done here. Unfortunate for Valdemar that he is gonna lose this one relic here, but just doesn't have the numbers really to contest the horse archers, and doesn't have the mobility to really go for that with the javelin throws and then the Limitani. So coRe is winning out on the relic minigame, also grabbing at least one of the sacred sites. And we'll get there to the other ones as soon as he drops off the relic. Valdemar is walling himself in here on the left side. Did go for a second TC as well. Did he mine any stone? He did, okay. And now, yeah, coRe is really moving in here with the horse archers, trying to find some more eco damage, and the villagers on the woodline are being exposed here. So did find a little bit of damage, lost, I think it was only like one horse archer actually, so still pretty good raid here for coRe. Found one villager, lost a horse archer. We'll also find the monk here, so good for coRe. So the blueprint is there, but Valdemar actually is not currently building the wall. Maybe because the one villager that wanted to build the wall was killed. And so it is still open here. It is gonna be open here on the right side as well, even though it is easily wallable here. And now 2 sacred sites on coRe side as well. Now we're gonna see the wall being dropped. And yeah, some gates as well. So Valdemar kind of playing it more defensively here. Also dropping another outpost next to the gold that has been almost depleted. Yeah, he also went with the cavalry rider, so as the next unit that he can go for, as with the Silk Road contract, he has access to the camel riders, and then eventually he could go for the grenadiers in Imperial Age. But I mean, I would be surprised. Let's put it this way. Nice snipe here with the horse archers. A little bit of an overkill here with the javelin throws. Of course, they're dealing way too much damage. Of course, for just one single horseman. The wall still hasn't been finished here, and that's really gonna cost Valdemar, or could cost him at least. Good for him. He already has the Varangian guards here in play, or in place rather. But I mean, in the meantime, coRe is getting the third sacred site. He is kind of macroing up for Imperial Age. I mean, he's not too far off. Same for Valdemar. So I do wonder if they will just go for Imperial Age and then take it from there. If so, I would say that coRe is a little bit favored just because he has all the sacred sites already. But then again, Byzantines do get access to some very nice units in Imperial Age, depending on landmark choice. And so 3 cisterns right now. So yeah, this one's not being covered, so we could see another cistern at some point here. Although it's not super important to have every resource covered. Especially not stone. You might want to skip on that, but like having the berries, having the wood line, that's very, very important. That gold is also in range, yes. So, and there it is. Foreign engineering company, so he'll get Nest of Bees, Weiwei Pow, or Royal Cannons. So Weiwei Pow is the, you know, like the super long range trebuchet that you usually only get access to as the Mongols with the Kaghanat Palace. But Byzantines are cool and they get it too. And the Nest of Bees, of course, yeah, the quote-unquote mangonel version of the Chinese, and then the Royal Cannon from the French. So yeah, both players kind of just staring at each other. Valdemar did make it to Imperial Age. Rus added a second TC, but other than that, not really looking for Imperial Age right now. So now he realizes, okay, Valdemar did go Imperial Age, so what is his next action plan? He is down to 1 sacred site. Valdemar is walled in, although it is only palisade walls, but still he is walled in. And yeah, coRe's window of attack is really closing down. We see elite contract being researched, which yeah, will mean access to grenadiers as well as upgraded javelin throwers and camel riders. And then yeah, Golden Horn Tower producing units as they should. And then yeah, we can see, so we have 1 Nest of Bees on the field already. And so the Nest of Bees could be a nice way of dealing with all this cavalry, although it is very mobile, so it probably will not deal a whole lot of damage. But in most fights it will definitely be at least some kind of scare factor. Meanwhile, Valdemar is increasing his farm transition here with the olive groves, which will get quite a lot of oil income for him. And coRe is looking. Excuse me. He is looking for the high armory. So, gotta get some improved siege units. So, first of all, he has some unique techs, but then it's also a little bit cheaper. So we could see a massive switch into siege units in combination with some fast-moving cavalry. And in the meantime, Valdemar is moving out. So yeah, he saw, okay, now coRe is in Imperial Age. I can strike now while he doesn't have the upgrades and hence all the bonuses from the Imperial Age. But at the same time, coRe is trying to attack here and breach through the wall, which he will do very easily. And yeah, Valdemar is reacting to that, at least sending off some of the units. But yeah, there's nothing really here in terms of army and or protection otherwise, and so just a couple of crossbows. So coRe really could find quite a lot of eco damage here, a lot of idle time as well. I mean, in theory, Valdemar could also try and fight this with accuratory defense, but that definitely would be costly. We have some Siphons being built here in field, but unfortunately, it's just gonna be in vision here for coRe. So coRe knows exactly what's happening, and at the same time, he is wreaking havoc here in Valdemar's base, killing quite a lot of villagers here. So even though Valdemar is on 2 TC, that is not so good. That was quite a lot of damage here that he was dealt, and still a couple units standing there. So Siphon doing quite a lot of damage, but at the same time being destroyed by the men-at-arms here pretty effectively. And now both armies trying to face each other, but it's... Okay, so Rue's army can't really do anything. They can't really move out here and just being blocked by the Mangonel, but numbers-wise definitely in favor for the Rus here. And now the real question is also gonna be, how much are the javelin throwers actually gonna do here in this army composition? Because it's mainly spears, and I mean, yes, they do damage, of course, but they don't do bonus damage against spearmen, and so not really great here. And if you look at the army value, it's massively in favor of coRe. The villager number is in favor for coRe. He again has 2 of the sacred sites, getting the 3rd one now. And so overall, I think that the raid that coRe did was perfectly timed. And that Valdemar just didn't have the units to really go out and punish coRe. Or it was just like the timing was just a little bit too late to actually be able to deal a whole lot of damage there. In terms of destroyed value, Valdemar is way ahead. So in general, he took the better engagements and he killed more army from coRe. But it doesn't really seem to be the case if we're looking at army value. So coRe 6 barracks, 5 archery ranges, 4 stables, and 3 siege workshops. On the other hand, Valdemar with 5 barracks, 5 archery ranges, 1 stable. And I can't see how many mercenary houses, but it's probably not gonna be... Yeah, it's just this one, okay. Okay, there's the next cistern, so yeah, that was the fourth one to increase the stone here, and then there's the fifth one over here. But coRe is now trying to breach into the Byzantine base, and the Mangonite Tower really doing a lot of work here, so it's not really a great option to walk in here, but yeah, could as well try and get in here. Look at that damage from the Nest of Bees. That was wonderful. I mean, if you're Byzantine, you love that. If you're Rus, you probably curse the day. And so the Strelts is in the back, just firing away on the Levitani. It looks like they have the shield wall up, so they are taking 30% less damage. And yeah, Byzantines winning this fight actually. There's still Levitani standing, and then just a lot of range units here for the Byzantines. And I am actually pretty surprised, but we do see the Grenadiers on the field. And so they might actually be one of the reasons why it was such a decisive fight here for the Byzantines. And now, if Valdemar can find like the attack here, he's way ahead right now. So if he just needs to move forward, maybe even ignore the wooden fortress here, just rally to somewhere like far away from that here. Yeah, definitely major win for sure here for Valdemar, and just needs to move forward now and try to get into the base. There's an opening even here if you want to go there. So you can completely ignore everything else here. Ignore the wooden fortress. Just go for the base. Go for the kill if you need to. Or you can just burn it down, torch it down. That's also fine. Decap it. Like all of that is good choices for sure. But just like try to capitalize on a win like that. Yeah, against the Streltsies, the javelin throwers again, they're really good. It's just the issue that javelin throwers have is their attack animation is super bad. It's super slow, and then also if you have too many of them and you focus the same target, which you kind of have to do, you cannot really let them auto attack stuff. Then you just overkill everything, because you, for example, do 200 damage against a target that has 80 health. And so it's just a lot of overkill basically, and so you need to be careful and keep in mind like the right amount of javelin throws is really the key here. But in general, like really good units to deal with the javelin with the Streltsies. But then again, you also need, like, he needs to pull them to the front here, and somehow his front line got completely evaporated here. He dropped the keep here, so this is gonna be a good spot for him to secure and to group his army. But yeah, a little bit of a back and forth here. So coRe yet again in favor here army-wise. Yeah, who would have thought, right? I mean, Nest of Bees is not doing great against men-at-arms, which is not how they were not built for that anyway. So yeah, definitely not good for that. Like you want to use the Nest of Bees against the Streltsies, against the Spearmen, or maybe not even the Spearmen because they're moving so much, but like the archers. Just keep the archers on their toes. In this case, there's no archers, no crossbows, so it's just the Streltsies. And yeah, that's what you want to do. Want to use them for. Another option that would be really fun here to see is you go for the Weiwei Power instead. Yes, it does quite a lot less damage than the Royal Cannon, but it has 18 range, and so you can easily. No, I'm not stealing your words. I'm just I'm with you. I'm just I'm yeah, I'm just supporting what you said. But yeah, just go for the warrior power, and you outrange anything else. And that would also be an option to deal with the roost defense here, because yeah, you could easily you could easily torch down the wooden fortress just from here, and roost cannot do anything from that. Yeah, I can actually I can read the chat. So I did finally manage to get a tool that actually, while I'm in game, puts the chat on screen, and so that is quite nice to actually be able to listen in sort of on the chat, and be able to react to the chat as well. Just feels nice. Um, But yeah, so yeah, now we have the issue that the Royal Cannons can't really get in on the bombards, can't really get in on the wooden fortress without, you know, Rus being aggressive and then just snipe down the Royal Cannons. So in this situation, I would have loved to have the Weiwei Pow on the field. But then again, the Royal Cannon is also very nice for beefy targets and to deal with the mangonels, so it does make sense to go for them. coRe did lose quite a lot of villagers recently, which means that now he is way behind in villager numbers. But then again, this also means that he can have more military, so it really depends on how you look at it. And sooner or later, this is gonna be like the last remaining gold. Ooh, this is gonna... In about 8 seconds, Valdemar is gonna hate that wooden fortress. So yeah, coRe sneakily taking the stone here, as well as attacking. Ooh, he's actually going in. That's so funny. I mean, yeah, why not? Just try and torch it down. But I don't think that 10 villagers is actually gonna be enough. It's not a regular tower. It has quite a lot of health. Ooh, he's pulling more. Okay, okay. Well, I guess that's like the quickest way to deal with that. So, it kind of, well, not really. I don't know. Yeah, it's you can't really contest the wooden fortress if there's villagers repairing it. So Valdemar needs to retreat here. So this gold is not gonna be his for the taking anytime soon. But he was able to push coRe off this gold, so that's very good. And ooh, now we have a big fight here in the middle. And so many siege units from the Rus. Who would have thought that he would go for so many siege units with the high armory? So a lot of, oh, look at all those Streltsies, all the siege units, a couple of camel riders moving in, but not dealing super. Well, I mean, okay, they are getting the mangonels down at least, but there's nothing really standing here for Valdemar. And, like, yes, he has his base here and having a very fast production as well due to the cistern. More siege, yeah. I mean, when in doubt, just build more siege. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But oof, look at that damage to the Royal Cannon here. Oh my. So yeah, this is, yep, not looking too good here. And they keep not doing a whole lot here actually. I mean, it's firing away here on the man-at-arms now, but not, yeah, not really super effective here. And coRe streaming in more and more units at the same time. Valdemar is trying to match that, and it will come down to who's gonna have the better eco, who's gonna be able to produce more. And right now, it looks extremely even. coRe having a little bit more gold and slightly more food, but the income is almost the same except for gold. So that is something where I think eventually coRe should be able to get ahead. Yeah, Valdemar definitely running out of gold. I mean, he lost this gold here, he lost the one here in the back, he can't really get to that. This one is not accessible at the moment, and so he doesn't have any gold left. I mean, I guess he could go on this one here, but yeah, he just lost the keep here, so that's really bad for him. And so yeah, like in terms of gold, coRe definitely favored here, but overall production, and then there's also the oil that Valdemar has. It should be almost even, I would say. Maybe slightly favored for coRe, but I think Valdemar's still in a manageable position. He should still be able to deal enough damage here to finally be able to push ahead. High armory, high trade house, getting on half health already, so that's gonna be a huge blow to the eco. And then hopefully moving on to the high armory, and then once you're there, the game should be over. So yeah, definitely a back and forth game, which, to be fair, I mean we're watching Conqueror 3 players, like, you know, the best of the best in a way, or at least like very high level players, and so definitely would expect a back and forth, and not unusual to go that long. I mean, we're looking at 37 minutes into the game, and I don't know how long it will still continue to go. Right now, Valdemar looking good, but again, it could be a back and forth and take another 20 minutes, because yeah, Valdemar is running out of gold, and the oil production is only gonna, you know, bring him so far. Yeah, and of course still pumping out siege after siege, which is inflating his army numbers a little bit just because they cost more pop. And so his army numbers actually not looking too great. On the other hand, we also have a little bit of siege units here for Valdemar, so in terms of like just, you know, foot soldiers, there's not really a whole lot here going on. And of course switching into spearmen, horsemen now, so, which I don't know why, because he does have enough gold. He could also go for the knights. I mean, he doesn't have the upgrades yet, so that probably would kill him if he needs to get the upgrades first. So maybe that's the reason. And there's another pushback. So yeah, this game isn't disappointing us at all. Another pushing back here from coRe, at least momentarily. Valdemar was able to get onto this gold. After that he will be able to move onto this one here. Of course still not back on that one. So yeah, quite a back and forth game, and nobody here is granting a free win to anybody, that's for sure. Ooh, that outpost is gonna be very nice. I wish that, okay, if it would have been a mangonel emplacement, that would have been even better. But even with the arrow slits, it's gonna kill the villagers eventually. So it's kind of gonna be gonna secure the gold. And in the meantime, both players are trying to mass up their army yet again. Yeah, he's just gonna torch it down now. With 18 spearmen, that should be possible. Valdemar's gonna lose the two villagers, unfortunately. And then, yeah, you have so many spearmen. They're gonna torch it down pretty fast. Which, okay, you either have to defend that position or you try to move forward, which kind of seems like Valdemar's trying both. So yeah, now he switched into bombard, so no royal cannons. Oh well, he has one royal cannon somewhere. And so Golden Gate getting demolished as well. So then there's really only the high armory, as well as with the main town center standing. And then that's gotta be it. Oh my goodness, look at all those sprinkles. This is disgusting. They are doing quite a lot of damage. Yeah, so we have two fronts currently, so a lot of sprinkles here and one mangonel, and then also so the bombers making it out alive. Good for Valdemar to for being able to secure the bombards, and now you can move forward again and just try to get the remaining landmarks. Because I mean, he could honestly just try and do a landmark snipe. He only needs two more, and that's gonna be it. And one of them is like almost dead already, and then it's this one here, and it's kind of exposed here. There's nothing really protecting it. And he could also now grab the relics, because now they're free to be taken yet again. Oof. Got a cannonball to the face. So coRe was able to max his pop yet again, and kind of even eco numbers as well. And due to the mass siege, he is ahead in army value, but again, that doesn't necessarily translate into having a stronger army. It really depends on the situation. Plus, there's a couple rams here which are gonna look for, okay, just Q shifted all the buildings here, which, depending on if he clicked on the wall, will actually not happen. We'll see. Yeah, it does. Yeah, he didn't shift click on the wall. He clicked like directly to the building because the wall wasn't built yet, and so they have to move around. And so this is actually a chance for Valdemar to stop building the wall here and then just going onto the ramps here and defend his buildings. At the same time, let's take a look here at this fight. So wooden fortress finally being torched, and now moving into the army here. A little bit of a distraction here on the left side, but now mainly just moving in here. And also having a couple of bombard nests of beasts, so kind of matching siege units here, except for the sprinkles. And now the rams are joining us, that's interesting. Yeah, Nest of Beasts is not really doing a lot of damage, just because it's the man at arms. Like, they would be super effective here against the Streltsies, but then again you need to like get onto that first. Valdemar taking the time to get as much gold as possible while he's busy here in the front. So it really comes down to who can survive the longest with the least amount of gold. because so trade in theory is possible on this map, um, but it wouldn't be, well, it would be fine. It's just difficult to set that up because there's constant fighting here anyway, so transitioning now into trade is near impossible. At least for coRe. Valdemar, I guess, could pull it off, but that could prove to be very difficult for coRe's side. And then again, Valdemar would probably have to kill a couple of villagers in order to achieve that. So yet again, back and forth. Now it's coRe's turn to move ahead and try and get into the siege here. But Bomba sneakily being able to get through the door here. It's really interesting that, I mean, we've been going for 46 minutes now, but this feels for, like, at least to me, it feels like it's been going for over an hour. Just because of all the back and forth. Like, we can probably see like the same thing going on for like 3 more times back and forth until one of the players manages to pull through. And yeah, again, like just high level players, like their defense is spot on, very effective at defending. Could repair the high trade house here, but he did repair the Golden Gate, and now it's just the town center that has been, yeah, almost killed. Mass rams coming in here, so this could be very fatal for the keep. And horsemen trying to get into the siege, but Limitani crossbows making sure that this is not gonna happen. And then yeah, also the SFBs from the back line. But overall, coRe's numbers looking better. And the Rams are still going strong, so they can just continue on. And if they make a turn to the right, they can actually kill a lot of production buildings. Or they can just go to the next keep. So whatever he wants to do here, and slowly continue with his siege oppression. So even more rams now. He's at 11 rams, 4 more in queue. So that is quite a lot of rams. I don't see, like currently I don't see a way for Valdemar to come back from this, just because he can't really deal effectively with the rams, and they're just gonna burn down everything, which in this case it's not really super important because it's just the olive groves and the mills, so it's just wood that he has anyway. But in general, like this kind of attack with all the siege, like what does he have against that? That would be my question. Because coRe, yes, I mean without the high trade house and without the relics. Oh, he let's see, yeah, he took them actually. So okay, so he replaced them. Okay, he put them back in another monastery. But yeah, his gold income is pretty limited right now because he doesn't have the high armory, and he probably also lost a couple of hunting cabins. Trying to look for a raid here with a couple of horsemen. And now it has turned again, and Valdemar is the one trying to push forward and move forward here. Which, in a sense, it kind of looks like he will be able to do that. But Yeah, we've seen a couple of turns here already, so I don't know if that is gonna be the final fight here. I would hope so, but I would also be surprised if that would be the case. At the same time, coRe seems to have lost most of his units. I mean, there's a couple of horsemen, but they're like here, like some in the back, and then where are his units? He's down to 9 horsemen, 7 spearmen, and a couple springles, which are all here. So, while this may not have been the final fight, this definitely was again in Valdemar's favor. And now, yeah, destroying the Golden Gate, then you can get onto the town center, and then there's really just a higher armory standing in your way. And so Valdemar is super close to victory right now. And just this one more landmark, and as I'm saying that, coRe taps out. Alright, so a 51-minute game. GG indeed. So let's take a look. So Villager, it doesn't look so crazy, but it's like if you think about like this is more than 100. Yeah, you're losing like quite a lot here back and forth. So very evenly matched. Yeah, I mean again like both Conqueror 3 players, very good players, and yeah, a couple of really bad fights for coRe, but then again some also not so favorable ones for Valdemar. And so I like most of the game, like you couldn't tell who was ahead. In the beginning, it looked like coRe was ahead, but then again, Valdemar took it, and then it was just like this constant back and forth, and then eventually wiggling down your opponent. But yeah, I mean, look at like it can't get much more even than that. Like in a 50-minute game, there's only like 1,100 difference in food. Like this is insane. And then yeah, coRe had more wood and gold. Um, but then again, Valdemar had more olive oil, of course. Haha. So very even game, very good game. But also very exhausting game. For the players as well. I could imagine.